This is the indoor grill that finally gave me backyard char inside my kitchen without setting off the smoke alarm. It has turned rushed weeknights into real dinners, even when I start with rock-solid frozen food. The product is the Foodi Smart XL indoor grill. I have been using it steadily, and it fits into that sweet spot between a countertop grill and a compact convection oven with air frying. It is for people who love the taste and texture of grilling, but do not have the space or the schedule to fire up an outdoor grill. If you like reliable results without babysitting, and if weeknight speed matters more than showmanship, this is right in your lane. On the counter, it takes up about as much space as a small microwave. It is a chunky piece of gear with a lid that opens tall, so I pull it forward a bit to clear the cabinet when I lift it. The handle has a solid feel. The cooking surfaces include a grill grate, a crisper basket, and a cooking pot, all with a durable non-stick coating that actually cleans up the way the box promises. The control panel is an angled touch surface that is easy to see while you are moving around the kitchen. The thermometer tucks into a little dock so the cable does not wander, which sounds minor, but it keeps the counter tidy. The splatter shield under the lid snaps out for cleaning, and the dishwasher has handled the parts without any weird peeling or staining so far. The fan has a steady hum when it is running, louder than a microwave but quieter than a full-size oven on convection. It is present, not obnoxious. Setup is simple. I washed the parts, did a quick preheat to burn off the factory smell, and started cooking. The interface is straightforward. I press grill, choose temperature, and hit start. It preheats faster than my oven, though not instant. When I push it to the hottest grill setting, it usually takes around 8 minutes to be ready. Air crisping preheats a little faster. The touch controls are responsive, and the prompts make sense. When I use the smart thermometer, it guides me through choosing the type of protein and the doneness level. Then it does the temperature watching for me. The beeps are clear, and I wish there were a low volume option for late nights, but the alerts are at least short and not shrill. What makes this machine different is the way it drives hot air across the food while the grill grate retains heat. That cyclonic blast at around 500 degrees gives me fast browning and those dark grill marks that you can taste. I get the same sizzle response when I lay a cold steak on the preheated grate. It is not outdoor charcoal flavor, but it is that indoor best case where the sear is robust and the inside stays juicy. Fat drips into the pot, not onto a burner, so there is less smoke. When I do get a little haze from a sugary marinade, the built-in smoke control system still keeps it manageable. I have not set off my detector once. The smart thermometer has been the quiet hero here. It uses 2 sensors to read both the surface and the center of the meat. I pick from 4 protein presets and 9 doneness levels, and it has been very consistent with steak. Medium rare has landed where I like it. Chicken breasts come out cooked through without that chalky dryness. Pork chops have been particularly good, with a blush of moisture still in the center. When I use thinner cuts, the thermometer sometimes reached the target a minute faster than I expected, so I learned to trust it and pull the food when it calls it done. Carryover heat finishes the last little bit during the short rest. Capacity is real. I can lay down 6 burgers without cramming, and there is enough room to add a row of asparagus across the back. When I cooked hot dogs for a small get-together, I lined up 24 and turned them in batches, which kept me out of the kitchen longer than I planned. But it was still easier than managing a live flame outside. For family dinners, I usually grill the main and either tuck vegetables around it or use the crisper basket right after while the meat rests. In day-to-day use, here is how it has played out. On a Tuesday, I pulled 2 frozen salmon fillets straight from the freezer. I brushed them with a little oil and salt, set the thermometer to fish and medium, and let the grill preheat. The grill told me when to add food, and it took under 20 minutes to go from icy to flaky, with crisp edges and a tender middle. Meanwhile, I tossed broccolini with oil and salt and dropped it onto the hot grate for a quick char as the salmon rested. Dinner was done fast, and I washed 2 parts in the sink. On a rainy weekend, I tried thick ribeye steaks. I let the grill preheat to the top setting and waited for the add food prompt. The moment the meat hit, I heard the sizzle that tells you the Maillard reaction is actually happening. The thermometer sat in the steaks and tracked both pieces independently, which is a nice touch when you want different doneness on the same batch. The sear looked like I had cooked on a heavy cast iron pan. I did notice that if I do not pat the meat dry, I get more steam and a little less crust. That is true for most methods, but it matters here if you want aggressive browning. Air crisping has been a pleasant surprise. I'm not trying to replace deep frying. I use it for things like fries, Brussels sprouts, and chicken wings. The fries come out crisp with that satisfying shell, especially if I shake them once halfway through. Wings develop crackly skin without a ton of oil. I do not stack the basket too high, or the top layer steals all the browning. For baked items, I have made a small tray of brownies in the pot and a batch of biscuits. It runs hot on top, so I use the lower bake setting and I check a few minutes early until I learn the timing. Roasting vegetables is straightforward. Toss with oil, season, and let the fan do the work. Corn on the cob with a little butter and salt gets light blisters that pop sweet corn flavor nicely. Cooking from frozen has saved me on more than one day. Frozen chicken breasts cook through without becoming stringy, especially with the thermometer. Frozen veggie burgers get a firm crust on the outside, so they do not taste like a compromise. There is no need to defrost, and the total time stays under 25 minutes for most single protein meals. There are small things I have learned to work around. The preheat is not instant. If I want to eat right away, I start preheating the moment I walk into the kitchen. The fan hum is noticeable. I can have a conversation over it, but I know it is running. The splatter shield catches grease well, and that means it needs real cleaning. I pop it out and soak it when I see buildup because waiting just makes it more annoying later. The probe cable can get in the way if I am flipping a steak in a hurry. I take a second to route it along the left side before I close the lid. Not deal breakers, just the realities of using it several times a week. One of my favorite use cases is the weeknight steak and fries routine. I preheat the grill to the hottest setting, season 2 strip steaks, and keep them dry. When the grill prompts me, steaks go down and the thermometer handles doneness. After they come off, they rest on a cutting board. I drop the crisper basket into the hot base, toss in a bag of fries with a little oil, hit air crisp, and by the time the steaks have rested and I have sliced a tomato, the fries are golden and ready. The whole sequence feels like a cheat code for time. No smoke alarm, no flipping pans, and cleanup is a wash, rinse, and dishwasher load. The unique touches that actually matter are the smart thermometer and the smoke control. The thermometer removes guesswork, and it is not a gimmick. It has changed how confident I am cooking thicker cuts. The smoke control system, with the shield, the cool air path, and the great design, lets me sear without worrying about the apartment filling with haze. The presets are helpful when I am distracted, and I can still override them if I want to cook by feel. Being able to do 6-in-1 tasks means it replaces multiple gadgets. I use grill and air crisp the most, roast often, bake occasionally, broil when I want quick top heat, and dehydrate for small batches of apple chips. I do not treat it like a full oven, but it covers a lot of daily cooking. After living with it, here is where I land. If you want real grill flavor and texture inside, and you value predictable results with minimal monitoring, the Ninja Foodi Smart Extra Large Indoor Grill is easy to recommend. It earns counter space by being versatile and by actually speeding up dinner without sacrificing quality. It is not tiny, it makes a bit of noise, and it asks you to keep the splatter shield clean, but it pays you back with seared steaks, crispy fries, juicy chicken, and reliable weeknight wins. If you have an outdoor grill you love and you enjoy the ritual, keep that. If you want grilling results any night of the week with less fuss, this is the one I would pick. If you enjoyed this video and want more honest, hands-on reviews like this, please subscribe to the channel. If you have questions or you want me to test a specific recipe on this grill, drop a comment below. Thank you for watching.